even easier way of just quickly taking all this information and determining whether or not if it's a good product or not, or a good technology, is it a compelling story? Because you need to be able to tell a compelling story for every single stage of your product process. You know, one of the unique things that Evan and I did when we started this company is we used a bootstrapping model for a manufacturing business, which if you look at a lot of the businesses in the United States today, at least the new tech, or the ones that you hear about on TV and the radio, there are very few of them are manufacturing business. Most of it's in software, it's in social media, things of the like. And to be able to manufacture a product in this day and age is really unique. So the way that we did that is we went after grants and business plan competitions. But when you're in a business plan competition and you're pitching to VCs or industry experts, or you're submitting a grant and it's going through a peer-reviewed panel that assesses whether or not you're meeting both the business criteria and the technical criteria, you have to be able to tell a compelling story. You have to be able to say, this is the need for the product. You know, this is the real pull, and we know that people are going to buy this because not only is it cost competitive with the state of the art, because it either saves time, it saves materials, or it meets new legislative drivers, but also that it really does fit all of the technical metrics the product's supposed to do. So is it supposed to be the next widget for a doorstop? It's going to be a much better doorstop because there are plenty of doorstops out there. You have to be able to distill it down into simplest terminology to the point where you should be able to tell your story within the magnitude of 30 seconds. It's a great way of making sure that first you're not too complex and not too technical, because a lot of venture capitalists, some of them have worked in the tech sector for a while, a lot of others have just worked in finance. You have to be able to make sure that they understand and get the market opportunity really quickly. A great way to do that is through business plan competition. I've had the opportunity to review grants for the National Science Foundation and the Department of Energy, and the biggest failure that I've seen in a lot of incoming grants is not being able to articulate the business opportunity. It's all about telling that story and being able to concisely tell a story on a page is just as difficult as it is doing it verbally. So that's really crucial. Even building a small executive summary or a business plan that's associated with the technology that you're starting is a great stepping stone or portal into starting a business. One of the biggest hurdles is you don't have to make it perfect. You just have to make it functional and competitive such that someone's going to buy it. When we started Ecovative, we bootstrapped the company, as I mentioned. We raised capital almost entirely from grants and awards. Within our first 3 years, we had over $3 million from grants and awards. Now that money helped us to purchase equipment. We didn't buy new equipment. New equipment would have depleted our capital almost immediately. We went to and looked at analogous industries, different fields that had similar capabilities of what we were looking for. We used YouTube a lot. If you want to see how processes work, you know, if you watch the Science Channel and see how it's made, YouTube has a suite of data. It's really cool to see the amount of technology that's actually in video form up on the web. And we bought used equipment from the food processing industry. It was 50 years old, but it did exactly what we needed to do. And one of the biggest hurdles that I've seen talking to other entrepreneurs is that, yeah, they'll raise all this capital from a venture capitalist or a private equity firm. They'll raise something on the magnitude of $5 to $10 million. They'll put it into a pilot facility, but then they won't sell a product out of that pilot facility. Why? When you ask them why they won't do that, they'll say, well, it's a pilot facility. It's not at the scale for production. It's like, well, are you making product? Yes, we're making product. Is that product sufficient to address some customer's need? Yes, it is. Well, then why aren't you selling it? Because the first bit of validation that you have, it doesn't really matter if you can manufacture it. What matters is that your customers are going to buy it and they're going to buy it again. You can demonstrate continuous sales. That's how you gain more customers, and that's how you gain potential licensing partners. Now, the part about being able to tell a succinct story that's really compelling translates beyond just business plan competitions and grants and things of that nature, but also directly into customers. Because you have to be able to tell a customer, someone who's going to buy your product, why they should buy the product. And it's not an easy phone call. It's not just one phone call. It's multiple site visits before you can actually close a sale. But you have to be able to let them know why exactly switching to your product is going to be better. Because there's pain associated with switching a product. People have already adapted to using, in our instance, foam. And we have to tell them why the foam isn't going to work long